Let's dig now into the fallout. My next guest says Twitter could be looking at some pretty significant security issues if the whistleblowers' complaints are true. Joining me now is Chris Pierson. He's CEO of BlackCloak and a former Department of Homeland Security Privacy Committee member. Chris, I remember Mudge from long ago when he was testifying about hacking, back when the internet was young. I mean, the web was young, I should say. The internet was middle-aged by then. He's a credible person in general. So does that mean trouble for Twitter here?
Well, I think there are a few things here. I mean, obviously these are serious allegations if they're true. I mean, if they're true, that actually might be a much larger risk as you take a look at the Twitter ecosystem, the types of users that they have on the ecosystem in terms of politicians, governments, heads of state. Right, not just the you and me, but people that are broader, that are making policy and announcing policy there. So, I mean, this really does need to be taken with a grain of salt. There is probably something that needs to be investigated here in terms of these allegations. But, it's something where we need to definitely hear Twitter's story. I think the biggest things that I've heard that are going to be concerning is going to be user access to user data that might be kind of running rampant more at Twitter and not having sufficient controls over who, as an employee, can access what type of data. There are other things that are alleged and in some of that whistleblower report information that's more around updating and patching and things that are updated. A lot of these are normal things that every chief information security officer deals with on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis.
Now, I'm not a lawyer or a security professional, but I spent a bunch of time talking to experts over the years. It seems to me like a key issue here is Twitter is trying to say, hey, look, we have this agreement with Elon Musk. Nothing out of the ordinary, out of ordinary corporate practice has happened that would invalidate that agreement. But the key part of what Mudge is saying here is that there are certain security practices that Twitter had in place that were bad, or a lack of security processes and practices beyond the pale. Isn't that the key issue here? Is it possible that
could be? I mean,
security hygiene, right, which we take for granted or talk about in general, could end up costing billions of dollars here?
Well, I think just like we saw with the Yahoo transaction way back when it was acknowledged that there was a public data breach that had not been reported yet, it impacted the purchase price. So cybersecurity and privacy practices are always going to be part of any mergers and acquisition, any type of price deal that you have. It will most certainly be part of this price deal. I think what you have is a few things. Number one, you may have security allegations or allegations around poor security that are material, that are meaningful, that are impactful. Second, you have that 2011 consent decree that Twitter signed with the Federal Trade Commission. It was fined on for one violation of it already. If the security is really as poor or has as many holes as is being alleged, it could potentially cause another investigation or another fine to be levied against Twitter for that, affecting the price. And then that key issue, how many bots, how many spam accounts, how many fake accounts are actually there as part of Twitter, because that is actually what you're buying. You're buying the user base. And so if that is a problem that is out of control, if it has run amok, it could, in fact, impact the actual deal, the deal price, and whether this thing gets done.
But if you're a board of directors, right, this is another reminder, right, that if you're going to go through any transaction, somebody's trying to acquire you, you're trying to acquire somebody, the security practices involved, right, they could make or break that deal.
It is absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, every single company has privacy and cybersecurity issues. But privacy and cybersecurity becomes an issue for your company in terms of its brand, its reputation, who it is, and can either inflate that price or deflate that price, or potentially cause a deal to go awry and not be done. So it is something that all corporate executives own. It's something that the board owns. And it looks like, quite honestly, it's going to be a key point in the upcoming litigation that happens.
Chris Pierson, CEO of BlackCloak, thank you.